Well, I don't mind telling you, that last 6 weeks has probably been one of the most challenging in my life. But anyway, we've snatched a wee night, we're back, and tonight we're heading up Beinn Chrulaiste. Well guys, it's great to be back. For those of you who are new to the channel, I'm G from Red Man Walking. Thank you for the subscriptions. I've picked up quite a few since the last time I was out. As I was saying just before the intro there, this has been rather a challenging 6 weeks for me. But tonight we're heading up a little mountain just to the right of the Chrulaiste Moor as you're heading towards Glen Coe, called Beinn Chrulaiste. It's going to be a short one and I'm going to have to get moving because I'm just looking behind me and yeah, it looks like the rain's coming in, so I'm going to get a move on and make some progress up the hill, and we'll speak a bit more when we get up to the top here. Okay, welcome back. I'm just stopped for a wee breather. Straight ahead of us there you can see the Devil's Staircase from the West Highland Way, and just in the middle of the screen there is where I had my first pitch of the North Tent Vern 1. But as you can see, it's looking a bit moody down towards the Three Sisters, and the Buchel has now just got a wee cap of cloud on the top of it, so yeah, I'm not going to hang about here, and we'll get up, get the tent pitched before we get utterly soaked. Yeah, it's just drizzling just now at the minute, but I'm sure the waterproofs are going to be on very shortly, so I'm not going to hang about here. We're going to make a bit of progress up the hill, and yeah, we'll chat to you in a wee bit. It's always nice when you're doing a vlog if you can let the viewers see the beautiful views, but as you can see, the clag came in. The wind started blowing in sideways with the rain, so this is the route that I took, heading from the lay-by at the base of the Devil's Staircase, taking you up the steep sides to begin with. You're then onto rather vague paths. Well, it probably was vague because the clouds were in, up onto the summit of Beinn Chrulaiste, and we cut to tomorrow morning. Well, good morning. It's 7:30. I'm still in my lazy scratcher. Yeah, as we got further up last night, the rain came in and it was absolutely teeming it down. So yeah, I didn't do any filming last night because it was just, the weather was miserable. It was about 9 o'clock by the time I got up here because I left late. Yeah, so no lovely moonlight shots like we had the last time over the Buchel. The wind was raging, which has been a good test for the tent, to be fair. Now, it wasn't up to 100 miles an hour, but then I wouldn't be up here if it was 100 miles an hour. So yeah, it's been a good wee wind test for the tent. It's been solid all night. Yeah, I'm quite happy with that. But yeah, do you want to see my view this? I'm going to say, do you want to see my view this morning? And I bet you poke you out the tent and we're in a cloud. Will we do it? Yeah, let's go for it. Well, I've put the bins on. This is morning G. I'll get the legends in later. But yeah, I'm going to let you have a look and see what my view looks like from my front door this morning. Here you go. That's not too shabby, is it? Right, let's bring you back in. So yeah, the plan this morning is not to walk back down the way we came up last night, which by the time I got to about 600 metres, the rain came on and I just needed to get up and get pitched. I'm sorry I didn't bring you along for that part, but it was just teaming it down. Not conducive to good filming, and by the time I had my dinner made, it was probably about 10 o'clock. So yeah, apologies that I didn't film any of that wet, rainy escapades, but well. So yeah, the plan for this morning is to head right along the top of this set of mountains and down it off the back to King's House, and then I'm going to walk back along the West Highland Way and back to the car. That at least is the plan for this morning. I'm debating whether or not having another hour's sleep before I get out of my bed, but the temptation is strong. Am I going to get up yet? I should, but I'm not going to. Anyway, we'll speak to you a wee bit later on, and in the meantime, I'm going to get a coffee on. Well, I know as a wild camper, most folk are up at the skreck of dawn. They're seeing the sunrise at 5:30 in the morning, and they're up and packed and ready to go for what seems like very, very early. But I'm just enjoying lying in my bed looking at this view. If I could have a house with this view, that would be amazing. Yeah, the clouds lifted a little bit, so we're not shrouded by cloud this morning. I've got a great view down to the Devil's Staircase, and it's already looking like there's one or two people heading up there. But yeah, it's a beautiful morning in Glen Coe. So I'm going to get some coffee. So I know I didn't do a lot of filming last night. It was bucketing with rain. I arrived here, it was 9 o'clock. The clouds were clagged in. You couldn't see anything, there was no views to show you. I just needed to get set up. By the time I had my dinner, it was probably about 9:45. So it was heads down. There was nothing really to show you. But anyway, yeah, I said yesterday evening that I was going to share a little bit about why I've been missing off of YouTube for the last 6 and a bit weeks. On the 10th of June, my father-in-law sadly passed. He'd been ill for a number of years, and the following weekend, 16th of June, my mum's birthday, we had planned to go up to Onyx near Fort William to spend a birthday weekend, celebrate her 78th with something a wee bit different. So I had my instructions. I picked her up in the afternoon and travelled up because we had to be there in time for the European opener, Scotland v Germany. Mum's a massive football fan, so you know that was my orders. And we got there fine, and we had a nice evening sitting with all the Germans in the bar in Onyx. And the following day we got up, had a good breakfast roll, and went off to the Clan Cameron Museum, which is just round from Fort William. My middle name's Cameron, so's my mother's, and my gran, she was a Cameron as well. So it was quite interesting to go and have a look at that. We travelled back then, and Mum had never seen the shipwreck at Corbett. If you haven't ever seen that, it's quite an iconic photograph from the Fort William area with Ben Nevis in the background. So we went down there and we stood by the canal side in Corbett watching the shinty, which I've never seen a live shinty match either. That was quite interesting to watch. And following that, we went round into Glen Nevis, to the restaurant in Glen Nevis, and had a hearty dinner. I'll be honest, I was ready for heading home to the accommodation. I'd eaten so much, but Mum being a 10,000 steps a day sort of woman, forced me to walk along Glen Nevis until we'd done our 10,000 steps. So that was a perfect day we had there up in Fort William and the surrounding area. On the morning of our birthday, everything was well, and we got up, got ourselves packed, and the plan was to go and have a birthday lunch round at the King's House Hotel. I'd booked her in for an afternoon tea to celebrate our 78th. But being that it wasn't till 12 o'clock, we decided to use up a bit of time, and having always walked through Kinloch Leaving, I'd never made it up to see the Grey Mares waterfall, so we decided to go and have a look at that. We got our midgie spray on because it was a bit of a damp morning. Parked the car and walked the short distance up towards the Grey Mares waterfall. And just shy of the viewing area for the waterfall, Mum took ill. Had I been on my own, I don't know what would have happened. As it was, right next door to the accommodation in Onyck that we're staying in was an outdoor place called Vertical Descents. Sam and his team were coming up just behind us, and I can't thank Sam enough. He helped Mum, his team looked after her, I was in bits, and we had an ambulance there within 25 minutes. She was blue lighted round to Fort William. And by 5:30 that evening, she was in the air ambulance being flown down to critical care at the Royal Infirmary, Edinburgh. The staff all along were absolutely fantastic. The NHS, it's worth its weight in gold. It's something we really need to protect. I'm glad to say that Mum's now, we're 6 weeks on, but Mum's now in rehabilitation in Stirling, having suffered a bleed on the brain. Now, one thing I always carry with me is the Garmin Mini InReach, which it has its SOS button on the side, which, you know, I always carry it for myself in case something goes wrong. And I don't know why I didn't take this with me on the trip we were going on, but I certainly will take it everywhere I go from now on. I've got it, I've got the subscription for it. I'm going to carry it because had Sam and his team not been there, I don't know what would have happened. I just don't. As it was, everything happened the way it was supposed to happen. But yeah, these aren't just for taking out into the mountains. If you're going somewhere that's a bit remote with a loved one, take this with you. You never know when it'll come in handy, when you could use it. So yeah, as you can imagine, with my poor father-in-law and then my mum taken not well, and then partway through that I caught COVID. There's tons of it going about at the minute, which floored me for a week. And then I managed to put my back into spasm, which was brilliant. So that's been me for the last 6 weeks. It's yeah, it's a 6 weeks I wouldn't like to repeat. And there's that old saying, when the going got tough, he headed for the hills. Well, yes. This is a great place to reset the mind. It's where I go to ground my mental and physical health. What a better place to do it, eh? Anyway, I just wanted to share that. I know I've been watching Paul Messner. He did his 30-day challenge recently, where he was doing a daily vlog, and as he was saying in one of his recent videos, these YouTube videos don't always need to be about the latest bit of tech, the latest bit of gear, the latest tent. It's a vlog of what's happening in your life. And yes, this channel's about walking and being in the outdoors, but it's about me, G, Red Man Walking. And this is kind of what's been going on with me the last number of days. Anyway, the plan is to get out a wee bit more. I have 2 weeks left of my summer holidays before we start back at school again. Joy of all joys. Anyway, yeah, I think it's time, because it's probably about 10:15 now. I have been really lazy this morning. Normally wild campers are up at the screck of dawn, 7:30, showing you the sunrise. I haven't done that today. It's just not been what I wanted to do. What a view, eh? Anyway, right, I'm going to get the tent packed up and we're going to make roads along towards the end of this set of mountains and down towards the King's House before heading back along to the car along the West Highland Way. Anyway, I'll speak to you a wee bit later on once we get all this packed up, eh? Well, this is going to be a wee bit out of order because I've just left where I was camping last night and come up to the summit of Beinn, Chrulaiste, and the views, well, I didn't get any views last night. There was totally clagged in, not a view to be seen, but my goodness, the views from the top of this mountain are spectacular. I've never seen Rannoch Moor from this angle, obviously, and you get amazing views down the back here to the Blackwater Dam. So I'm going to give you a quick 360. So down the back here we've got the Blackwater Dam, and then round looking down towards Rannoch Moor, down to where the Glen Coe mountain resort is down here, and then the Buchel and up into the head of Glen Coe. Yeah, I'm very glad I came back up here this morning. So yeah, another spectacular view had on the Red Man Walking channel. Right, I'm going to cut back to me finishing the vlog now. Back down when I'm packing up the tent. Well, that's me all packed up. As always, leave no trace. We're going to head along the top of the mountains now and down towards King's House before heading back along to the car. Anyway, I'm going to wrap up the vlog for today. I know it's been a short one. Something quite interesting happening in August, which you'll see when it gets to that. But in the meantime, all that remains for me to say is go and create your own adventures, and we'll see you on the next one.